And it may be, I don't know, that you're able to identify generic strategies here, which could then be transferred into other parts of the business.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That it may be a value added beyond what you're just doing within deals.
Yeah. But yes, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so then given what we've said, which is that this is important, this is important, this is important, and these are obviously important, but we think they can be done by others.
Well, this one, I think, in terms of determining what it would look like, maybe what I need to do is just make sure I'm a bit more sharply focused on it rather than more time, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. This one?
Yeah, because if I can agree what that looks like...
Then Kevin can do it.
Yes, yeah. And maybe I just need to quietly push the pace.
Ken, sorry.
Okay, but I can quietly push the pace.
So what
that
time...
one is really processed now.
Okay. So that's off the block. With this one, what crispening of your thinking do you need to do, and how will you do it?
Well, I know that the guys, kind of new and old, met last week to determine what's going to happen when. I think I need to spend some time listening to where they've got to. I think I need to challenge them properly because they won't be doing things quick enough or bold enough. And I need to remove or distract the current leader a bit, which I have started to do because I'm getting him to spend time in the Middle East. Maybe I need to spend more time, get him to spend more time there.
Would it be helpful to have like a not a time frame that you will ever share with anyone, but your own internal idea of what this needs to look like between now and March?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because there's a risk, isn't there, that you'll get a ground rush.
Yeah.
And then
it won't happen.
And then it won't happen, and then you'll end up rushing it through, and you'll end up having to cut corners when you don't want to.
And then I'll piss people off that I've got a good relationship with.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to leave the business in that way.
No. So I think that one maybe, because there's a series of things that need to happen in a certain sequential order, it might be worth you drawing up.
I think it's end of Feb actually. I need to have agreed what's going to happen by the end of Feb.
Yeah. But even to get you to the point by the end of Feb where you can agree what's going to happen, there'll be various things that need to happen between now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which of these is your number one priority? If you could only do one thing between now and the time that you leave?
Don't know. I mean, this is going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
It's whether or not we make the most of it. Does it happen in a way we get to make the most of it medium term? So if I do nothing, that's going to happen. Actually, even though that's process, I still need to do stuff to make sure that happens. That is about pace, really, because that will happen.
Okay.
I'm finding it hard to distinguish between these two because the thing is with this one, it is really it is probably neutral for deals, but net beneficial for the whole of the firm. But this one
benefits both.
Yeah, benefits everything as well. So I'm struggling between those two.
Yeah. I also think that it's worth kind of acknowledging that this is the one that's most likely to get crowded out by other stuff.
Yeah, because it's got less structure around it.
Yeah, because it's about, strategic thinking and the problem is that when you are in a situation, particularly when there's a time pressure on you, you can get a bit distracted by the things that sort of have to be done rather than the things that could be done. However, if this was top of the page for you, then setting thinking time aside for this would be really, really important.
Yeah.
Do any of are there aside from Ken, is there anyone that can help you in a very significant way with any of this stuff? Anyone that you can share this?
Well, I've got another member of my team that's helping me.
Yeah.
Because this is wrapped up in one exercise.
Yeah.
And Ken knows he's about to. Well, he's planning, but he hasn't started yet. He would have started this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I can empower him to go faster and harder,
mm-hmm.
and give him the resource to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, and he will. I mean, he'll go as fast as I ask him to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and I trust him completely.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, him and Ken are probably the two I trust. I have the biggest trust in on my team.
Mm-hmm.
What I could do is spend time. Well, firstly, he actually needs to go off and do some thinking himself.
Yep.
Because I need his thoughts on how do you approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure just me alone, it's just not enough what I've created at the moment. Because
mm-hmm.
I've kind of set up a framework for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've set up exam questions, but I now need him to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to let him do that probably for a week or two, and then I need to get him to really commit to some tight time frames, including when we bring other people in, because he'll identify what the options are,
mm-hmm. pros
pros and cons, and what's the story for people, and then that's when we need to widen it out and test it with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I can, in terms of, it probably just means me prioritising that, making sure I put some proper time into that in the next 2 weeks, as opposed to letting him bumble along, if you know what I mean.
I think with all of it, because like you say, I mean, you're going to have oversight over all of this anyway. It's just that some of it, the lion's share of the work will be done by others. But I think I don't know whether you feel this would help, but almost you want like a roadmap between now and the end of March, where it basically says within each week what your strategic priorities are.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Rather than just saying, I'll try and squeeze it in here and there and wherever I can and whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
And then try and reduce your regular routine commitments as much as you can. So we talked, didn't we, about not perhaps going to as many meetings.
Which I have started doing, by the way.
Yeah, leaving meetings slightly earlier.
And I've started now to shake up on the agenda points as well.
Yeah, great.
So,
great. So that's all good.
And I deliberately pushed. I actually did lie about the reason I pushed it. But we've got a big set piece partner director meeting first week of April.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might be a bit odd that I lead that and then a week later they announce I'm going to change. So actually it's about it's a very specific meeting subject we're covering. But it was more the prep we would do for that is the month before. And do I really want my last month dominated with
prep for a meeting that you're just about to...
Yeah, and even though it's an important meeting for the business, actually, probably my time's better used in that last month. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that sort of, I'm not going to call it selfishness, but that kind of self-focused thinking is exactly what you need at this point. Yeah. There's just a couple of pinch points in our career when we need to do that. I mean, it's not your natural instinct.
No, because I try and get everything done.
I know. Yeah. And also you're a very you're a generous person, so you wouldn't like to think about things that were all about you. But actually, this is one of those times when it needs to be about you. And about, also, what I would also add is it needs to be about not burning yourself out so completely that when you move over to tax, you're like a sort of husk of a human being. Yeah. Because actually, what you
have the habit of doing.
Yeah, because actually what you're going to want to do in tax is hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And make a good first impression and all that. It's not a first impression, but make a good...
well, they're going to be so pleased they've got a new leader. Yeah. I'm not sure not everyone will be pleased it's me, but they're so desperate for a new leader that if I don't... I mean, that's one thing that probably... Well, there's no point doing lots of significant planning until he said it's definitely going to happen.
No. When will he make his final decision about it, do you think?
He's got an awful lot going on at the moment, so I suspect early March, I think, and then with a view to announcing it probably pre-Easter. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay. So that should all happen quite quickly once he's made his final decision.
But you're right. I need to do something quite big quite quickly. I mean, firstly, I need to change the leadership. And I can't determine how I change the leadership until I can think about what changes